I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigars.
Don't be an asshole today. Hey!
I
Well done. Well done you for kicking COVID.
live. Thank you. Thank you. It was quite a week. Quite a week.
Jesus. Everybody I know is getting it. Like,
Yeah, I thought I was
Dad
going
had
to
it,
be,
my mom had it, and then you had it. I'm like, what's happening in Florida?
I thought I was going to be one of these people that were immune to it because I was exposed to it so many times and never got it, like really close and personal exposed.
Yeah,
And
you
I think
definitely got the one that skirts the vaccines.
yes. And
Yeah.
also, I think I do believe stress. And I've been under so much stress with so many different things. This past week, life stuff, I think stress will break your immune system down where you just can't, take one more thing to fight with.
Could be.
But
you had to get it from somewhere. You had to get the bug from somewhere.
I think eventually you've had it once, right? Or you've never had it. Jem had it, right?
Emma had it, yeah.
I think everyone's got to get it.
That was the original. She had like the OG. She had
Yeah.
she had the OG COVID. And like, we did the upstairs, downstairs thing. And
I remember, yeah.
And everything. So I played it pretty safe. But yeah, in this day and age, like this new BA.5 variant is so transmissible and skirting the vaccines that, if you're exposed, you're definitely going to get it. But, the good news is, being vaxxed and stuff, you were able to kick it.
Right. That's the thing about being vaxxed. It doesn't make it as bad.
Same thing with my mom. Yeah. All right. Look, we got Dr. Spann in the house.
We do. Yay.
There she is.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
There.
How you guys doing? Let me just adjust the sound. There we go. I'm getting good at this computer stuff. Getting good.
Nice.
How's it going, Dr. Spann?
It's going well. It's hot here. And also my internet's down. So I'm using my hotspot on my phone. So I'm hoping that this will be a good recording.
Oh no. Did your internet catch on fire?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
Been out since yesterday. I think it's like citywide or something, but here we are.
Here we are. We're doing it. We're making technology work for us, man. Yeah, our temperatures. I thought the day that we hit 102, and we have no air conditioning here, right? So we had these two little mobile units working their little fannies off, man, and it was keeping the house at a steady 82.
A steady 82.
Steady 82 with both of them working. It was so bad. But I thought after that that hot blast, that was it. We're on the decline and the temperatures were like 72, 76. I was like all spoiled and everything. Sure enough, the next 4 days will be in the 90s. I wasn't ready for it, man. I just wasn't ready for it. But I am proud to say that I kept my house at between 77 and 78 today, and it was 87 outside. So
wow.
Yeah.
You've got that down.
I do, man. It's like a part-time job. I'm not even joking. It's like I get up in the morning, I open all the windows, let all the cool air in because it's like 65. Let all the cool air in, and then at like 10 a.m. you start shutting them, all depending on where the sun is going. Shut the front windows and leave the back ones open because it's still cool, but the sun's pounding on the front of the house. Blackout shades everywhere, and then about noon, I go close the hatches a little bit upstairs, black out everything else down here, start drawing the blinds halfway. By 1 o'clock, everything is closed up. The house looks like the Bat Cave, and I got to ride it out till like 4:30. So 3 hours. Yeah, the house is like a Bat Cave.
How do you keep from going batshit crazy in that Bat Cave?
I'm close. I'm close. Like, it's not even funny. It's ridiculous. I have 5 fans going at all times. So it sounds like I live in a jet engine, you know, and like every little thing bothers me. You know? When this is one of the things I told Jay, I told Dr. Spann, we got to talk about how irritable everybody is, you know, when it's like,
With the heat.
yeah, like
With the heat.
everything bothers me. Like, there was a piece of hair on my arm and I was like, "Ugh." Like, what was that? Like, everything is bugging the shit out of me. My cat was sick we had to bring him into the vet 2 days ago. It was like the stress. It wasn't so bad. Like, you know, Monday was kind of okay. I was doing like I don't want to do anything that elicits any heat, you know.
Right,
So it's like,
right,
we don't use the ovens, we don't use the stovetop after 10 a.m. So if I'm
right.
gonna cook, I'm gonna do my cooking between 8:30 and 9:30 in the morning, so the kitchen cools off. And
It's like,
then
no, don't spoon me tonight. I'm too
don't
hot.
touch me. You know,
I
my
think
wife
that's
is
her
saying,
point,
"Can
yeah.
I give you a hug? Are you too hot for a hug?" Yeah,
Aw.
but okay. Like,
So
God.
basically your question is intimacy, affection during the hot British
It's, you
summers.
know, like I feel so unlovable in the heat. Like, I don't even understand why she wants a
Aw,
hug. You
you are
know,
still
like, can we
lovable.
just knuckle bump? Like, just she's like, no. And then I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see your reel about a hug where your belly's touching. I'm like, ah.
Ah.
Well, you could get in a cold shower together and do that hug.
That is
Oh,
true
there
too.
you
That is
go.
true. I just got my shower fixed this summer. It was stuck on extreme hot. So that's taken care of. So yes, that is definitely a possibility. We're on different schedules for that, but that might be something I have to make work because I am just feeling like a sweaty Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like,
And there's research about this, right? There's research that shows that in extreme heat, couples have their libido goes down, they're more irritable, sometimes aggressive. I know you're not aggressive, but some people get aggressive. You know, they
yeah.
just hit their boiling point so fast because of
Yeah,
the
that's what it
heat
is.
out
Go
there.
from 0 to, like I said, a freaking hair. And I was like, like, so I'm never, I'm usually covered in cat hair. Like, I don't care. But because it's hot, everything bothers me. Noise bothers me because I'm living in the jet engines. You know, the television's on like fucking 20 when it's usually on 9. You know, it's like so loud. And having the windows all open, you can hear all the noise from outside, which I'm
Sure,
not
sure.
really used to. But yeah, it's just a lot of things. And after a while, it's just like they're peaking. But the good news is after these 4 days, that's it. Summer's out
Sweet.
the door. So I just have to deal with this for 4 more days.
Yeah.
And I'll be back to my lovable, fun self.
And you can do anything for 4 days.
That's my way of thinking. Like, stay busy, sit in front of the fan. You know, like I definitely got a routine. It bothers me a little bit that this is happening on a weekend because I'm usually here by myself and I can control everything. You know,
Mhm.
like I don't even open the fridge because like the minute you open the fridge and all the humidity gets in there, everything gets a thin layer of ice on it the next time you open
Right,
the
right.
fridge, right?
Wow.
So it's like I can't control what my wife does on the weekends. So I just have to grin and bear it.
That's
So-
why I was flipping out on Friday when my air conditioner went out. My brand new air conditioner went out. I
Oh,
was just
no.
like, the brand new system for February. So that way I won't have this problem in the hot Florida summer. Cause I don't know how, we probably have 4 more months of this heat, not 4 more days of
Yeah,
it.
you don't get a break
And
until
so-
March.
But ironically, like you probably, this is when you miss Florida because everything's air conditioned.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're
Yes.
missing, but anyway, yeah, the heat down here isn't giving up. I mean, I'm used to having a garage. I have a carport in the building I live in now, and my other car is under the carport. So it's like the Jeep is so hot when it's just flipping hot. If you're dressed to go anywhere, you can forget it when you get in the
Yeah.
car, like your makeup's melted. So how do you look good for someone in this weather? And either, it's, you
I
just
can't.
can't.
I don't even make an effort. Like I have no energy to make an effort. I didn't even wash my hair today. Like I just cannot.
Where-
Well, the
How
good
is-
thing is that they're in the same climate that you are, so they're struggling with the same thing.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. You're right.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
you give each other grace in these times. I'm lucky after hearing you two to live in a pretty dry climate because
Yeah.
both of you are in real high humidity, which makes it much more hellish, I think, than.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't like right now, we have like this outdoor umbrella that I literally have like, aimed over my patio doors. And even though I have blackout blinds, the umbrella like makes even more of a difference, like, so it really, really helps. And like, if I do have to step outside to do something, being in the shade is like at least 5 degrees cooler. If not,
Yeah, that's smart.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I said, it's like a part-time job just to keep the house at 78, 77, and
Wow.
that's like that I'm becoming acclimatized to. Like I will like do a little self-preservation check at about 7:30 and go, I haven't sweat all day today and it's really hot out. Like that's what I do.
Yeah, that's a
Make myself
win.
feel a little bit better. But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then, like I said, it's one thing like during the week, because I don't know how my wife does it, but she walks like 2 streets over and works from her boss's outdoor office. So she's got all kinds of fans and
man.
everything, cross breeze with the windows open and all that kind of stuff. And she works from there. It's just easier to have conference calls and all that kind of stuff with everybody there. But so that leaves me on my own all day to do my like extreme neurotic, keep the house cool routine. But on the weekends, like I feel so bossy. You know what I mean? Like don't do
Because
that.
you have your routine down and you want her
Yeah.
to follow it.
What do you mean
right?
you're making toast? So I feel like I gotta really like rein it in and watch myself this weekend. It's not gonna be easy. But if you have any tips, that would be helpful.
Well, what comes to my mind is it's a reminder that we're different, right? And we're at the beginning of a relationship, we feel so similar to our partner. That's what our brain focuses on.
Yes.
Similarity. And as time goes on, then suddenly it's like, oh no, you should do it my way. But that doesn't work, right? Because you end up feeling like a controlling, nagging spouse instead of just an accepting partner.
But yeah, it's tough, I mean, we embrace our oppositeness. Like she's a gluten-free, dairy-free vegan that doesn't even eat fish or eggs well, no, she will eat an egg. But anyways, our diets are completely different. Like
Yeah.
she goes for acupuncture, she goes for massages, she does these Asian herbal drinks before dinner and before breakfast and all that. And I'm just like, no. I'm not one to turn down a taco. So we're different in respect, but our dress style is different. Our level of germ phobia is different. Like all these things but we're so used to it, that we get it. Like, I
You make it work.
Right. We definitely make it. And it's not hard. It's like, I'm just not eating gluten-free. I make separate pastas. I make 2 dinners pretty much 4 nights a week, so that part of it is nothing, but it's it's this kind of heat and everything. All of a sudden I feel like I'm so laser focused on all the different, like she was brought up in Australia. All she needs is a cross breeze and she's fine. But it's a warm cross breeze. God, that.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But so I feel like if we could make it through being like locked up last summer during COVID, like I don't know if I'm just like I'm at this point now, because We don't normally get this many days of hot. And
Yeah, you guys
certainly
have
not
gotten
102.
so blasted this year. Wow.
Big time, like everywhere. I'm complaining, and I know they have it so much worse in like Spain and Italy, but we're just not cut out for it. Like over there, I feel like they kind of embrace it. They just find a way, to embrace it. Like I don't even wear flip-flops. Like that's not my thing. I don't wear flip-flops. I can't be without socks. That's a me thing.
Right. I'm like that too. I don't like
Are you?
the no sock thing. Is that
Really?
shocking about me? Yes.
I did not know that about you.
Oh
What
yeah.
amazing.
No,
Wow.
I have to. In fact, I'm usually wearing a Doc Martin. I don't care if it's 106. I'm wearing my Docs, and yeah,
No,
I
no,
don't like.
can't do
I
that.
can't do the flip flop thing.
Can't do flip-flops. I bought big scrunchy sliders, and I feel like an 18-year-old boy. And
I wear them to the beach. My Doc Martens.
I know. I saw a picture of you in a jean jacket,
My
a
relationship.
black
Any
jean
relationship-
jacket, a black T-shirt,
Right.
jeans, and your Doc Martin
my
sitting on the
beachwear.
beach.
Any
No,
relationship.
you're not Birkenstock.
I'm not a
No.
Birkenstock. I'm Doc
No.
Martin. But any
No.
any
My
of
wife
my
wears
relationships,
Birks though.
I am the freak in whatever relationship I'm in. Where
Oh, that's good. Oh, God, I didn't know that. I'm the freak in mine. Oh, is
Yet
that
one
a
more
thing?
thing you have in common.
Is
See,
that a
we have that
thing?
in
Is
common,
one?
right?
Can we look at a relationship and say one person's the freak and one person's normal?
Oh, no.
No. Oh,
We're, I think we seek out the comfort of familiarity. So there's got to be a little freak in everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's working out the freak in each and dealing with each other's freakiness.
It's just that
right?
we're freakish in different areas sometimes, and
Yeah.
so. But it sounds like you make room for that, and so this is
Yeah.
just an expansion of that level of acceptance of differences. And that on the weekend we're going to do the heat different.
Yeah.
And so speak up. One, if something's really like gets you dysregulated, you got to speak up and say, I know this doesn't make sense to you, and
Right.
could you please not use the toaster today?
It
Right,
sounds so
so-
stupid out loud, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, she would rather have some cold fruit and yogurt if she eats it than to tick
Yeah.
you off for the remainder of the day.
Yeah, a lot of
Just-
times it's just like not thinking, like,
It's just habitual. Yeah.
yeah, I do think sometimes too, like, because I'm home, pretty much fucking around as a job, like making reels and podcasts and writing here and there, and she's over there like saving the world, like, doing like hard normal work that it doesn't shut off. So like normal
Mm.
house things or whatever,
Mhm.
just, fly out the door because she's thinking about something that she's gonna have to do at work, so I'm like right behind her doing the house thing. So
Yes.
so
That's
yeah,
your job.
that's how
your
it balances.
thing.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
balances that way a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't understand why everything is so spotlit, when you're aggravated or when you're, irritable from the heat. Like everything seems big and intense and immense. Like
Yeah, because it throws you into your amygdala, and the heat throws you into your lizard brain more than
yes.
when you're comfortable.
Yes.
So you're gonna be more reactive.
Lizard.
Just talk about it. Talk about it with your wife, and
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's definitely aware of it.
And if
putting
she
a nice-
opens the refrigerator when you don't want her to, at least have her get an ice cube out for you and then she can just like run it across your neck or your forehead.
Get something for you, right?
right. Yeah, it is. It's just, it's such a stupid way to have to live, but it's just this continent, this little island is not built for this kind of weather,
No.
because we aren't like this when we're in Florida together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Open and close the fridge if you want.
There's
We got-
air
Right.
conditioning in Florida.
Yeah.
Different. I'll tell you down here what I think what is a problem, Dr. Spann, in some relationships.
Yeah.
When with the heat, like if one of the people in the relationship is so afraid to be anywhere because of COVID, to be indoors, that they want it outdoors. And I hate eating outside when even at night, it's 80 flipping degrees and it's humid down here.
Yeah, and
So
there's
I would
mosquitoes.
rather eat inside and not worry about COVID anymore and just eat in the air conditioning, which we have in South Florida, than have to go somewhere where there's outside seating and it's so flipping hot out that I just rather would not go out. So then you don't go anywhere and now you're like always home because the other person doesn't want to go indoors, and it becomes a thing, it becomes like you never go out. And then you start arguing.
I'm hear this story so frequently. It's a big stress for many couples when there's a discrepancy between the comfort of being out in the public during, this phase of COVID. And it's hard. I think that trying to talk about it and taking the time to really take turns and share your feelings about it, and hopefully your partner can really listen with the intention of understanding versus the intention of defending, and vice versa, that then she would have a turn to share with you all of her fears and anxieties, and she has COVID PTSD, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
I think that's a term, like co-PTSD from COVID. And
yes,
if you can understand each other better, then it will position you to make more creative decisions, I think. And the trick is when there's such a diversity of opinion, to craft that win-win solution. I bet you miss being around where you can see people and hear other, just get your senses full of something other than your house.
I try to compromise so we could go out and still have like a date night. I always maintain that for me, that's so important to do, to always do not to forget to do stuff like that, the date night, the special stuff, but it always somehow goes to the wayside as the years go by in a relationship. I don't know why that happens, that early stuff, you can't hang on to it forever for some reason. Am I right about that? Or
no, I think there is a change between that early stage and then the second stage of familiarity and differences start emerging, and we get a little bit complacent. No one taught us that it takes, what do I want to say, intentionality to keep that energy of freshness and excitement going. Naturally sustained. So then you have to get creative and be like, what's something new we can do? Because not novelty. And so in the midst of COVID, getting creative and
hard, man.
Finding if there's too much anxiety about going out indoors, then you find a venue that's enormous and the tables are 10 feet apart.
Right.
Or instead of just ordering in, you find an interesting recipe that you've never cooked together, and you blast a new Pandora station instead of the same one you always listen to. Bring
great idea.
Difference, right? You do something different.
That's a great idea. Considering I
couldn't
figure out how to turn my stove on to make toast, by the way.
I know.
I turned the oven on. I was going to make myself, we were talking about before, I was homesick this week. So I was making myself toast. So I turned on my oven. I don't have a toaster. And I said, I'll just put the bread on broil, the 2 pieces of bread. And I go back in like 10 minutes and I'm like, why am I not smelling toast? I don't know how to turn it on. I press broil. I press start. I'm like, how do I don't even know how to turn my oven on. I'm so ridiculously codependent on someone that cooks or takeaway, as you say, in London.
Yeah,
I was watching, I feel like I want to start speaking with a British accent because I was watching British TV all week and they say takeaway instead of take out like we do.
Yeah, it is. That's hard to get used to, but.
And I was like, I have to do the podcast now. I'm going to do my podcast.
That's awesome. You should do the whole thing in your British accent.
Oh, totally.
It's still pretty
totally
bad,
do it. I have such a bad habit of if the last line somebody says on TV, I got to repeat it. gotta repeat it with the exact accent. It's so bad. I've been doing that since I moved here.
I remember you said that.
It's like this, it's like a tick. Like I can't, like sometimes I'll explain to people that it's gonna happen because I know I can control it, but I'm not
You
making
can't
fun
help
of
it.
you. Yeah, can't help it, but I'm not making fun of you. Just so, but yeah, like, it is crazy. But yeah, JD was telling me that she's been watching British shows while she's been homesick. And I'm like, that's funny. I try and find American shows because I'm so sick of British accents after
Right.
that, but I just got to put on an NCIS, like just to hear it. But, it's like it's complete
So-
flip-flop over here.
So the cooking together is a good idea for someone like me who doesn't know how to turn on the stove. That's great. The other person could actually show me how to do that.
Yeah, you can learn something.
Jay, you might learn how to use one of your appliances.
Right.
I'm sure there's a YouTube about it.
There's gotta be.
Yeah.
That's-
I'm
yeah.
sure I could do the stove top. It's the oven that's a little tricky, but anyway.
My wife is out like almost every weekend doing something, and
Mhm.
and she'll always ask, because she knows I'm gonna say no. But but yeah, I think it's next week or towards the end of August, we have tickets to see Sister Act
Oh,
in the
nice.
West End. Yeah. And it's with Jennifer Saunders. So I gotta go. Like I got, but
Yeah.
got like all this time to gear up,
Mhm, mhm.
and the last thing I think the big thing that I was out for was Hannah Gadsby. We went to see Hannah Gadsby
wow.
at the London Palladium. So when I do it, I do it big. Like,
So she goes without you is what you're saying. And then that's how you guys work it
Mhm.
out. She goes without
yeah,
you.
like she does a lot of things on the weekends with coworkers and stuff
Mhm,
that I wouldn't normally do anyways.
mhm.
Because like she has like music day with one of her friends because they're both like very musically inclined, like they can play instruments and sing and hold notes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, so no, I wouldn't do something like that or other things that like walking tours, like not my thing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that. So she'll do those with other people, but yeah, or I'm not big on massages. Like there's just something creepy and gross about them, and I can't get there. Like we did one time, we did a couples massage that was the funniest thing I've ever gone through. Like we laughed through the whole thing, and but like we couldn't really laugh out loud because they were so serious about it. So we would just like lift our heads up a little bit. And look at each other. But yeah, the funniest thing. But like that was it because it was a gift certificate from someone. Never again. But like, so she'll schedule her massages and stuff like that for like on the weekend or whatever, and it just doesn't bother me. Like we're totally okay with that because I will do things, but big things like
Yeah, you save it up.
yeah, save it up for the big things, exactly. But I'm trying to get like better. My friend wanted to take me to a new farm store, which those are nice because most of that stuff is outside, like their things,
Mhm.
their crates or whatever and stuff are outside, or if they do have the indoor thing, it's just the refrigerator stuff and all that, but mostly like fruit and vegetable stuff with a big garden center attached. So it felt really outdoorsy and I was all gearing up for it. And like I had a flare up with my bad foot on the day we were supposed to go. So I couldn't go, but we're going to do that like next week when it's not.
The next big thing.
That's we got Sister Act and a new farm store. And I'm good.
You'll be good for
I'm
a
good
couple
for
of months.
November.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So see, it is all about that kind of working it out, like what's going to work. And that's the thing, like that in a relationship for some people wouldn't work at all.
Mhm.
But it works for us. Thank God.
Right.
Yeah, so I gotta say, I think I'm probably fortunate because I know a lot of people, like I remember when Donna and Vicky were together, Jay, they were at that stage where Vicky didn't want to do anything. Donna was like, the mayor of the neighborhood.
Right,
He's
right.
always out, and that kind of like ripped them apart. And I was like, oh shit, when that started happening with us, we had like a huge conversation about it.
Yeah,
Like I would say
Yeah.
that those are just not things that I want to do, but I will do the things that I want to do, and you will
yeah.
help me.
And she could
So,
still do her thing.
yeah. So we do, make that work somehow.
Yeah, and that's brilliant that you all talked through it and you figured out a way
Yeah.
to manage that so that you both get what you need. And,
Yeah,
JD, if you long for more social time that's in a cool environment, then maybe you're gonna do that with other friends, that don't threaten your relationship, that you enjoy. And then find
Yeah.
other ways of spending time with your person that keep her from, freaking out and I don't mean that's not diagnostic. I mean, and get super anxious.
Right.
That's what's happening, is she's just getting really
Right.
anxious about the idea of being in close proximity to strangers who might have COVID.
right, right. And inevitably, wherever you go, there's going to be someone coughing. And I'm the germ freak more out of the two of us.
Yeah, this is
believe it or not.
surprising me that you're the
Believe it or
one.
not. But
Yeah.
I just have been determined not to let it stop me from living, because I don't want to stay home anymore. But we also talked about something once a while ago about when you have a discussion that turns into an argument, and the other person gets up and walks away after they say what they have to say, and you start talking with the excuse, I don't want to start an or I don't want to fight, so I walk away not to have a fight. And then and I don't think that's walking away not to have a fight when you walk away while the person's telling you something.
That's a threat to the relationship. That feels
I'm-
threatening to the person talking.
Yeah, I feel hung up on physically. I can, like, somebody
Yeah.
slam the phone down. And so that's not the only symptom of the relationship, but yeah, I mean, I think the talking it out is probably the most important thing. Like you said, you have to sit down and talk it out.
Yeah.
And you have to rationally be able to sit with a person and look at each other. Like you guys seem to really have worked out a lot of stuff that you
Oh
had,
God, yeah, but we've
to
been
make it
together
these many years.
12 years. Like we don't have to do it that often. Like when we do it, it seems big, and we're really committed to fixing whatever it is. Like there is no walking away, there is no
Right.
there's no holding it against you, or like we work through it because we don't go through it often,
Yeah.
so when we do, it's kind of like a conference, like, let's get to the table, let's get it out, no one's getting up, no one's leaving. You want to get a cup of tea to get through the other half of this, that's fine, but that's just, I don't know how we fell into doing it that way, but I do think it's because it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But yeah, even, and to be honest, it didn't really happen until like later into the relationship. We didn't even have those big powwows in the beginning. It seemed like when you got, like for us, when we got super comfortable with each other, and it felt like things, like all of a sudden, like we think it was, we both had this realization that it felt like we were growing apart because we got so comfortable.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I
over
think that's
certain
where we're
things
at.
So
That's
we
exactly where we're
just
at.
had this
That's it.
whole reassurance kind of conversation. Like, just because you're going out with your coworkers or whatever, it doesn't mean that you don't want to be here with me, and I have the choice. I can go or I don't, don't go either, but none of those things mean that I don't want to be in this relationship, and I think that's always like, it always comes back to that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know what? That's the point. I think you fall into a friend zone. I think we're falling into the friend zone. And how do you save yourselves when you start getting into that friend zone to get back to being more than friends?
yeah, that is something you work. I mean, for us, that it takes a little work and a little effort,
We should have another podcast just about that sometime.
Yeah, we really
Yeah,
should, because
definitely.
how do you get back? Do you spend time away? I thought no contact, spending time away and missing each other, and then maybe that's not the answer, but I thought that might be. So I don't know if that's the answer to,
I mean, it depends. Sometimes doing some time away can be helpful. And for some people that feels really threatening, like, oh, then you're not into me, you don't want to be with me. And so they get all
Right.
up with fear, and then that's not valuable to them. But maybe you
Right.
can have smaller times away, or, this idea of doing something new, what I was talking about
Mhm.
earlier,
Yeah, yeah.
can really be helpful. And the other thing is to talk about even the hard conversations, because relationships get really sort of stagnant in that we're just sort of rocking along here if we don't speak up.
Yeah,
We
right.
don't say what's bugging us. And I think lesbians have a greater tendency to want to avoid that vulnerability or that fear of, I might
Mhm.
say something you don't like. But it's important to speak up. That helps keep the relationship actually more dynamic and alive than, well, I better not say that, you might not like it.
It's the elephant in the room that you don't talk
Yeah,
about.
doesn't it
And,
always
and
seem
it
like
it kills a relationship over time to not
and it
talk.
always comes down to like not wanting to hurt someone's feelings, like
Right.
I that's always a huge thing. I was thinking about that the other day, like I forgot what made me think of it. It was something like, how do you know when you're in love with someone? And I'm like, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. And then I was like, wait a minute, no, wait. You want to be able to say what you're gonna
Yes.
say. You know what I mean? There was like this huge realization that, yeah, I think most of my relationships up until this one, that was always the key factor. Like I was so afraid to say something that was gonna hurt someone's feelings, like that was my biggest thing. And then I would like find myself so unhappy and thinking, but I don't really understand why, and not realizing it was because I just didn't want to say what I needed or what I felt or what, because
Mhm.
I was afraid of hurting someone's feelings. It was like the biggest, stupidest mistake,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I lucked out here because I can say it as long as I preference it with, I'm not saying this to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, you can be kind and have a difference of opinion,
Yeah,
or
exactly. Yeah. But yeah,
And
Jay, I think if someone's gonna walk out of the room, you don't even get a chance for that.
And I'm like, well, we're both hot-headed Italians, but I'm like, don't walk out on me. And then, of course, I don't just sit there and say, guess I'm, there she goes. Sometimes I'll say that, but I think it's a great next podcast when we have you back on to solely talk about, so many people get into this problem, even in any kind of relationships,
Oh,
hetero
yeah.
relationships. You get into that friend zone, and how do you get back to, the being a couple, like being that passion? Where do you
Yeah.
get that feeling back? And sometimes it's very awkward. It's very, very weird. It's a very weird, awkward thing, and it's scary. It's a scary place to be in a relationship.
I would love to come back and talk about that.
Yeah, let's do that next
What
time.
what is it you have going on? Because you're making reels, you got webinars coming up. Like all of a sudden, Dr.
Yeah.
Spann, you're everywhere. But tell
I'm
us,
on a mission. So I'm going to be relaunching my online group coaching for lesbian couples, to where I teach all about the things that we're talking about here. And my wife is also a therapist, and we do the coaching sessions together, which is kind of fun.
that's
Oh,
good.
nice.
We're relaunching that in mid-September. And so I'm going to be doing a couple of like live webinars just to teach a few things coming up probably at the beginning of September, and then trying to fill the program, which is it. We've done it for a year, so it's proven. We know that it's super helpful. Yeah, so that's what I'm in the middle of.
I'm loving the reels because those are just quick little bursts of information
Mhm,
that are just
mhm.
enough to make you go, oh, you know,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's
Cool. Thank you for watching them.
yeah, that's a great idea. And back to doing online stuff, I think it's like we all got ready to not have to do it anymore, but it's so necessary because there are people that still want to do it that way.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of us have learned that for some things, that's even better than in person.
yeah,
Because
I
it's really
agree.
cool to have couples from the East Coast and the city and out here from all different places getting together and finding commonality and learning from each other.
Mhm.
So there's some advantages, I think, of doing it online.
That's really cool. Yeah,
For
you can
sure.
make
Yeah,
online
that's true.
friends. Can make online friends. That's even better.
Yes.
Yeah, that's super cool. So would people go to your website to find out when these things launch and all that?
Yeah, and we'll attach if you don't mind, a URL they can follow as well. But lesbiancouplesinstitute.com is a great place to go, and you can find out all about it.
So would you have to register for these? For the
Yeah,
online-
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, putting up a registration
Sure.
page.
Yeah.
We'll get the word
The
out.
link to that. Yeah, appreciate it very much.
That'd be great. I just think, a lot of people are gonna find it helpful. Worthy,
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah. You gotta step up.
Since you're a regular on our show, we could put like a spot for you on the website if you want, about you and your classes and just links to you,
Yeah.
a page
Yeah.
on our website. If that's cool with you,
That'd be
I'll get in touch
amazing.
with you for some info, what you want
Okay.
on the page. All right.
That'd be
Cool.
amazing.
Yeah, we'll put all the
thank you.
socials on there too, so people can catch
Mhm.
the as well. That'd be great.
Sweet.
Terrific. Yay!
Mhm.
Cool. Thank you. It was great
Yeah.
seeing you both.
I'm gonna go turn my fans back up
Same here.
and
Oh,
open up
yeah.
the windows.
Get that ice cube on your neck.
Yeah, I can't even believe this has lasted.
That's gonna keep it going. The ice cubes.
Ice cubes are gonna work. Ice cubes are gonna do it. Okay, you guys, this has been
All
fun.
right.
Thank you
Thanks
for
so
coming.
much.
Why do you always run back to the love
like, never stop chasing your
once
dreams.
knew? You're addicted to her touch. That's true. And I confess, my addiction is you.
We drank way too much whiskey.
Don't ask me why I'm here tonight. I had to take this midnight drive to find you. And as I come in through the door, I see her dancing on the floor beside you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You look at me and in my mind consumes me in a shameful kind of sadness. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You are my drug, my ever waking need. I got you in my blood. You've got me on my knees. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true.